Welcome back to the Reddit virtual tournament for the Sweet 16. It's the 7 seed Illinois taking on number 3 Kentucky. So glad to have you along here in Houston. Along with Mike Abelson, I'm Alex Perlman. Great to talk to you again. And Mike, what a matchup we've got. Illinois coming off a true bounce-back season, placing 4th in the Big Ten, 13-7 this year, turning it around from 7-13 a year ago. And Kentucky, what more do you have to say about Ashton Hagans and the Wildcats?
I mean, everyone's good. So many talented players in this game. And Alex, this is college basketball base camp. We started with 353, 16 teams can see the summit, only one's going to get there. I don't want to put money on anyone here, but I think these two got just as good a shot of anyone else remaining in the tournament.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This should be a fantastic matchup with Kentucky. All the different talent that they have, that extremely strong backcourt in Ashton Hagans, Tyrese Maxey, and Emmanuel Quickly. And then the Big Ten Freshman of the Year will tip it away for Illinois. That is Kofi Coburn. He is there along with Nick Richards, and the tip is won by Illinois. And away we go here at Reliance Stadium. Glad to join you for Sweet 16 action between Kentucky and Illinois. A 21-10 season for the Fighting Illini. I mentioned 13-7 in the Big Ten. This is their 32nd trip to the NCAA tournament in history. First since 2013, though, as Brad Underwood in his 3rd season has this team back in the dance. First effort off the mark for the Fighting Illini, and Nick Richards already rips down his first rebound.
You know, for Illinois, this is their first time on the second weekend since that magical 05 season. So they're definitely going to want to try and recreate some of those good vibes again here in 2020.
There is Richards on the putback, and Kentucky is on the board first.
You see a lot of orange in the crowd. A huge Illini contingent made the trip down to Texas. And I mean, one of their best teams in a decade plus. Why not make the flight?
Of course, Kentucky is always going to be well represented. BBN, Big Blue Nation, showing out in full force. Doesn't matter if they're in Texas or Alaska, for that matter.
Wouldn't surprise me if they could draw a big crowd in Anchorage, that's for sure.
Ayo Dosunmu go to the free throw line here. The sophomore from Chicago, first team All Big Ten. And what a year he had, leading this team just under 17 points per game.
The Reddit Premium Free Throw Cam in the first half is brought to you by Tab. 1 calorie, beautiful. I don't drink Tab.
It's not my favorite either. 1 for 2 on Dosunmu, who had a game-high 21 points in Illinois' second-round win. A huge upset over number 2 Creighton, 78-72 the final there. Before that, taking down Utah State to earn a trip to the second round here in the virtual tournament.
What soda do you drink? I'm a Fresca guy. I love Fresca.
Just not a soda guy, to be honest with you. Tyrese Maxey from the top of the key. I'm more of like an iced tea, water, seltzer, that kind of thing.
Okay. A little bougie for us in the soda crowd. I got you. I feel you.
You know, try to keep it a little healthy.
Yeah, but I mean, Fresca, it's a grapefruit flavored soda, so I mean, that's got to count for something, right? It's a good take.
Yeah, Dosunmu off to a great start already. Very aggressive early on against Kentucky. And Mike, that's exactly what the Fighting Illini are going to need. Dosunmu's going to have a big game for them to pull their second straight upset.
Yeah, I think, the players are going to be him and Coburn. Coburn's going to have to assert himself on the inside. Also, Andres Feliz. Feliz had an excellent game against Creighton. You need a really good third contributor if you're going to win a game like this.
Yeah, Feliz putting up 19 points. He really came on strong for this team, being inserted into the starting lineup at about the beginning of Big Ten play. So an early 5-3 lead now for the Wildcats into the corner. So that long-range shot just a little bit short as Coburn rips it down, and now on the run. More free throws coming up for Illinois.
Making their own luck here. You drive it, you get someone out of position. That didn't look like the hardest foul, but it definitely was. Quickly wasn't where he was supposed to be. The sign of a talented player here. DeSumo one shot away from tying the sucker up.
And just one of two on that trip now for DeSumo. Had the chance to go to the NBA draft last year, decided against it, came back to Champaign, and has really been a force for the Fighting Illini this season in turning things around and getting them back in the tournament. There, Trent Frazier picking up his first foul, the junior from Wellington, Florida.
I'll say, I do like the NBA's policy allowing players to test draft waters and not completely blowing out their eligibility. I think all sports should do that. If you don't get drafted, you should be able to go back and play.
And we'll see that with Kentucky. It'll be very interesting this season because Ashton Hagans has already said he is not coming back, but there are options. Like Nick Richards could do that same thing, E.J. Montgomery, and we'll talk about that a lot more as the game goes on as well.
CSI, NCIS, Hawaii 5-0. It's letters galore, only on CBS.
The more the better, I guess. Quantity over quality there. Hope I don't get in trouble for saying that.
I like one of the CBS CSI shows. They got one, right? CSI Albuquerque. Oh, that's Breaking Bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, inside the big man, there is Coburn, who has been so difficult to stop all season long, and why not? A true 7-footer, 290 pounds, and in talking with Brad Underwood, he said he's the second fastest player on this team as well. That is a nightmare combination for opposing teams.
Well, as you said, the fact that he is able... Oh, that's a bad play by the Illini. We'll hold on for a minute.
Go right back inside, and Sestina with the left hand. That's the grad transfer from Bucknell, Nate Sestina.
I was going to say something good about Coburn. He got beat pretty hard right there by Sestina, but... he's not just a plant yourself and grow roots at the low block.
Oh, Coburn with two.
Did you see how much that net bent? Did you see how much he just pulled that down? I mean, send it in, big man.
It's a good thing this isn't 20 or 30 years ago, because I don't know if we would have two nets when it's all said and done.
No, not with people like Coburn and Sestina and Richards on the inside.
So Kentucky with the basketball up by one. 3:40 into this Sweet 16 game is Tyrese Maxey off the mark on his tray attempt. Both teams really pushing it so far as Coburn there commits the backcourt. Back to the Wildcats it goes.
That was a deflection. I'm not sure about that call. That was a pretty clear deflect. I think it was off of Richards. And they're still going to ring Coburn up for that. My God.
I think Coburn might have touched it as he was going into the backcourt, and that's what the officials saw right there.
That'll do it. That will do it.
Here's Ashton Hagans, the sophomore from Cartersville, Georgia. How about this assist mark for the year? 6.4 per game. Also tremendous on the defensive end. SEC defensive team both of his seasons so far for Kentucky. Talking about defense, right back to the Illini it goes. Here's Frazier, who Illinois would really like to get going. A guy that shoots 31% from three, but that took a dip as the season went on. And really, so did Illinois' entire three-point percentage in the second half of the season. It doesn't matter sometimes, though, when you've got Coburn down low.
Yeah, when you have the biggest, strongest guy right in the middle, who needs strategy? Feed him his 3 square meals a day.
6 early for Coburn out of Jamaica. Guy that has not been playing basketball for that long either. What a career he is about to have. He did declare for the NBA draft, so we'll see if that continues. Put back by E.J. Montgomery, and the sophomore out of Fort Pierce, Florida, is on the board for Kentucky.
Oh, it's interesting. A bit of a slower pace here so far. As we got a foul. I think that's on Sestina.
It is his
you
first.
Would think, Kentucky. You would think Kentucky running the dribble drive is going to want to get up and push it a little more, but right now they're just kind of going tit for tat, nip and tuck, shot for shot, pop for tart. Just keeping it close.
Pop for tart. That's a new one.
Excuse me, toaster pastry. I don't want to have any problems with the production team.
One more for Kofi Coburn, who is a 68% free throw shooter, which all things considered, not too bad for a guy that's 7 foot 290.
And look at the way he sprints and gets right back on defense. Doesn't allow anyone to get behind him.
A little bit of trouble now for Emmanuel Quickly, the sophomore from Maryland. Leading scorer on this team, but that time Quickly pours it in from beyond the arc. His first points.
Gotta get out of there. They do.
Wide open off of the window, but it does not go that time for Illinois. Nothing Feliz on that trip.
Yeah, Feliz has been super quiet here in the early going. I'm sure Brad Underwood can't be happy about that.
Still a lot of time left in this first half. Beautiful feed to Maxey. He's not going to miss that 15-footer.
Biggest lead of the game now for either team.
5-point advantage for the Wildcats. Feliz off the pump fake, draws his man in the air, and he'll go to the free throw line for one more.
I just start saying names, they just start scoring buckets.
You seem to have that effect, Mike.
You know, it's a talent that I was given. I'm not sure if I earned it. I hope other people can achieve it as well. I'm also really good at beating lines. Like when I go to a fast food spot, there's no line. Then when I'm sitting down eating, there's like an 8-person line. I don't know what it is, but I'm just really good at beating lines.
Oh, my dad's always said timing is everything, and I guess you just have it.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, when I want a Whopper, it just times out well.
Free throw for Sestina coming up, who's a 75% shooter. We haven't talked much about Kentucky's season, but, I mean, it really kind of goes without saying. They are the deans of college basketball. 60th NCAA tournament appearance this year, which is the most all-time. They're 7th straight under head coach John Calipari. He is in year number 11 in Lexington. Hard to believe he's been there that long already as he continues the dominance of this proud program. And we are going to get another foul back the other way.
Shooting 2.
What a feed. What a feed. You got DeSumo in the air, got the contact. DeSumo doing a lot of little things right today. I mean, that, you know, it's not just big splashy three-pointers and big dunks. You have to find a way to draw those fouls. You got to find a way to get those boards. And this is why he's one of the best players in the Big Ten. I'm not going to say he is the best player in the Big Ten because people have very strong opinions about who the best player in the Big Ten is this year. But Ayo is certainly one of them.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt about that. Luka Garza would certainly make a huge case. Kentucky just got rid of him in the Hawkeyes. Took down
Anthony Cowan and Maryland just got eliminated.
Back to the top of the key now for Kentucky. This is Hagans, who has already said he is entering the NBA draft after the Wildcats run comes to an end. But I wouldn't expect it to be so soon. This is a team that is primed for a national championship run. Too strong right there on the three ball by Johnny Juzang, who's newly into the game, the freshman out of L.A.
Great basketball family. Seen his brother play at Harvard a few times.
Easy inside off the window for E.J. Montgomery. This is not a deep Kentucky team. They really only play 7 guys, Sestina and Juzang coming off the bench. Sometimes we'll see the talented freshman out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Keon Brooks, but mostly it's work this season, even though this is a team that can really get up and down the floor, Mike.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird oxymoron with this team. They have so much speed and talent, and they push it, but they don't really have the depth in case something goes wrong. So, if guys start getting into foul trouble, there aren't many, lineups that Calipari can throw out there.
His team back on the offensive. In and out as Coburn rips down his third board of the game already. He's already got 7 points on the offensive end as well, calling for it on the block. Posting up right there against Keon Brooks, who is seeing some run here in the first. Great feed into Frazier, but he passed up the open three. Now back to him. Short.
Bit of a mixed-up possession. I mean, he had that first open look on the wing. You got to take that.
Long bomb for Maxey. He's up to 8.
I'm looking out there. He shot that one from Dallas. My goodness.
Almost all the way across the state. as we play here in Houston, and a 7-point advantage for the Wildcats.
You ever been to Texas?
Many times, actually. I've been to Reliant Stadium.
I can't say I've been to Reliant. I've been to Austin. Austin's a great town.
DeSumo with the answer.
You can hear the crowd now chanting, fire it up, fire it up. They're into this one.
They love that chant. If there was a #1 chant for this crowd here across the NCAA tournament, you would say fire it up would be right up there.
Well, who doesn't want to fire it up? It's exciting. It's energetic.
Hagan's looking for some help now after he goes behind the back. And shot off the mark that time from Montgomery, and it ends up in the hands of Illinois' DeMonte Williams, the junior out of Peoria.
Yeah, Hagans beats Coburn on a block, and then he lost it. Then he got swatted, and then Coburn comes down the other way and gets the bucket. As you said earlier, he can do everything on both ends of the court. That's why he's so valuable to this Illinois team.
Yeah, we're not even midway through the first half right now, Mike, and he is 1 point shy of double figures. The Wildcats' advantage is just 2 with 10:42 to go here in the first. Over to the wing, 3-ball, not this time, and Williams takes it down. Undersized at 6'3", 210, but he can really get in there and rebound.
10:31, 10:30 to go in the half now. Illinois with a chance potentially to take the lead, although they haven't been shooting that well from deep.
Only 29% as a team from 3 in Big Ten play, and this time Williams' size comes back to bite him. Hagan's looking for the screen. Gets it this time from Brooks. Cutting inside, Coburn swats it away.
He swatted that so hard, it hit Brooks on the head and bounced away.
That's already his
disdain.
Third block in this game as DeSumo fires. Not this time.
Can you imagine getting a ball blocked into your head by a 7-footer?
It cannot be a good feeling.
I can't imagine it. I mean, I got a thinning hairline, so it would hit me doubly hard.
Would it knock the rest off?
What rest?
You said thinning, not bald.
Yeah, I've just kind of given up on it. I'm cool with it.
Hagans with just 10 to shoot at the top. Feliz in his face. Screen comes from Montgomery, right back to him. Double team now with 3 to shoot. Top of the key, long 2. Off the mark. Juzang can't get it to go, but we've got a 3-point play coming up anyway. E.J. Montgomery.
Substitution.
You know, Montgomery, one of the leaders in this team. I feel like that's the first time one of the first few times we've said his name on offense. A huge shot for the sophomore from Fort Pierce, Florida. Has a chance to get one for the road here.
And the lefty pours it in. Montgomery up to 7 points early on here against Illinois. And Montgomery, one of those guys, Mike, that we talked about. Kentucky is going to have a lot of question marks coming back next year whenever their run does end. Montgomery declared for the draft last year, but he came back. Could potentially do the same thing this season. Wild shot. No chances. Williams got his hands on it now for Illinois and the Fighting Illini back across the left side. Frazier had some space, passed up the shot. Right back to Williams for 3. And this has just not been Illinois' day from beyond the arc. But again, that's no surprise. That's not really where they win their basketball games.
I'll tell you, though, it was also a great job by Kentucky consistently switching on the inside, making sure no orange jersey was left uncovered and left to drive.
Wildcats, we talked about what they can do on offense, but a terrific defensive team as well, holding opponents to just 66 points per game. Banker off the mark from Brooks.
Bounce check.
And we're seeing a lot of that, too. A lot of the players like Juzang, Brooks, putting up some shots here early on when you would expect it to be more Maxey and Quickly. Emmanuel Quickly has been extremely quiet in this game. He just has that 1-3, but Kentucky's still up by 5 with 8:10 to go before the break.
Jarling's Custard Cup has been satisfying Champagne's sweet tooth since 1949. Voted the best ice cream in the Big Ten, Jarling's makes all its custard in-house. Don't settle for second rate. Find only the best at Jarling's.
You know, I did a game up in Champaign this year, but it was pretty cold out. I didn't get any ice cream, and maybe I'm starting to rethink that decision.
Oh, but cold weather is the best ice cream weather.
Is that what they say?
You're already feeling it on the outside. Just take it all the way. And who doesn't love ice cream?
I mean,
I think I'm lactose intolerant. I still eat ice cream. It's not the smartest decision, but I love it.
No, I'm with you there. Juzang once again put up a miss from beyond the arc, and now it's in the hands of Frazier. This has been some stifling defense. You're right, especially on the perimeter here, Mike, by Kentucky in this game.
They've also been helped by the fact that Illinois has given up a lot of open shots.
There was an open one for DeSumo, and he didn't miss.
Well, so what to what I said, right? I mean, that's why he's one of the best players in the country. 6'5" sophomore from Chicago, has the Illini just down a single point.
He had the chance to go to the NBA draft last year, passed it up, didn't even enter his name, came back to Champaign because he wanted to turn around the program for Brad Underwood. And you know what? He has done so. He'll have another decision to make, no doubt, coming into this offseason as well.
But I mean, my God, how different would this team be if he had left last year?
Night and day. I mean, honestly, not even close. His Feliz, too much. And remember, late in the season, he goes down at the end of that game with a knee injury, and you think, oh my God, might be a torn ACL. That might be the end of Ayo DeSumo and Illinois' potential chances to go far in the Big Ten tournament, to make a run in the NCAA tournament. Luckily, it just was not the case as Brooks picks up that foul.
This YouTube spotlight is brought to you by Bradley's, the department store with the difference. Hey, Alex, how often do you think about civil aviation?
Every 3 or 4 days, I'd say.
3 or 4 days. It should be every day, and you'll learn a whole lot about civil aviation and have a hell of a fun time watching it, checking out the channel Mustard on YouTube. Don't ask why it's called Mustard. Just enjoy some excellent videos about the history of civil transport and civil aviation with fun animations along the way, because everyone likes fun animations along the way.
I mean, I feel like we've got time on our hands now.
Yeah, you know, it's excellent stuff.
All right, I wrote that one down. Mustard on YouTube, civil aviation.
Yup. They also talk about the old Soviet space shuttle program, which is wild.
Check that out. Into the corner, passed up the three, and a strong drive by Maxey. He's going to earn 2 free throws with Williams picking up his second.
Shooting.
I feel like most of the fouls in this game have been shooting fouls. Like, the players doing a great job to get players in the air, get to the line. You know, there's been, I think, 2 reach-ins, but other than that, everything's been a shooting foul. It's a testament to the mindset of players on both sides today.
Yeah, and I would say especially on Kentucky's side, they've been really forcing the action just a little bit, and that's the MO of the Wildcats. They're actually a really good three-point shooting team, but it's quality over quantity for them this season. But this is really where they excel, Mike, at the free throw line. I mean, they have 4 guys shooting 80% or better, and 80% as a team. You don't hear that very often in college hoops.
You know, not at any level of basketball, really. I mean, that's remarkable.
4-point lead for the Wildcats, who have led throughout. Illinois did get it to a one-possession game a few times. No chances, though, to tie it, as right there, that will help. What a move by DeSumo, hanging and hitting.
Defying the laws of gravity, sits in the air, dumps it in. Chance to cut this down to 1. The thing, though, is that Illinois can't seem to turn the corner and take the lead.
So that'll make it 30-29. DeSumo, we talked about, has to have a big game for Illinois to have a chance. He's doing just that. 17 points in less than 15 minutes. Maxey off of the cut. Long 2 up in the air. It spins in and out for Juzang, who has asserted himself offensively. But this is potentially the last time that you will see Johnny Juzang in a Kentucky uniform. He's transferring after the season. Behind the back for Dosunmu into the corner, and that long two goes. Dosunmu with the feed, and Bosmans Verdonk, Benjamin Bosmans Verdonk, the freshman out of Belgium, getting some time early on.
I mean, it's a testament to this Illinois team that a guy like Bosmans Verdonk getting involved in the offense puts Illinois ahead for the first time since I think this game was in single digits, as it's 5-on-1, now 5 minutes to go in the first half. Illinois starting to feel it.
Yeah, Mike, I have to be honest with you, though. That was not a name I was expecting to call here in this game.
Well, you said it correctly.
Hagens for three.
You ever been to Belgium?
I have never been to Belgium, just the Netherlands, which are, of course, two completely different countries.
Yeah. I've never been to either.
I would highly recommend the Netherlands if you get a chance.
Yeah, I would love to get to all of Western Europe at some point.
Oh, that was fantastic ball movement. Frazier with his 5th assist, and Bosmans Verdonk's already with a couple buckets.
And now they're going to sit him down for Coburn, but wow, what a way to leave your mark on the game. Comes in, almost like a one-hit wonder, if you will, like the Baja Men. Comes in, has their one hit.
So you're saying
like Eagle Eye Cherry. Here's another one.
Yeah, the dogs are out and he's trying to save tonight.
There you go. How bizarre.
33 apiece with 4:13 left in the first. And that's a huge shot by Montgomery, who is only 1 of 6 from 3 so far this season coming into the game.
And he has a dozen already.
Has been a huge part of the offense, the big man out of Florida. To Coburn. And the ball movement has been really good here recently as Frazier finally has his first bucket of the game.
Great play by Illinois. Coburn comes up to the foul line, draws a defender. Everyone freezes. Frazier kind of sneaks out on the backside. Easy jump shot.
And sometimes that can be the great equalizer for a very good defensive team. You move the ball quickly. Of course, the ball is going to get to its destination before a defensive player can.
And then also, as you said, the fact that Coburn has the speed to, run through the defense.
This time, no dice for Kentucky as Dosunmu rips it down and will lead the offense here with a chance to give his Illini the lead. Not like Illinois doesn't have some big wins so far this year. They beat Luka Garza and Iowa, Penn State, Wisconsin. Sestina takes it down, and inside the hook goes. Brooks with his first bucket.
This has to be so frustrating for Illinois fans. The team is doing so much right, and Kentucky able to find a way to just get that bucket, to push it to 3, push it to 4. Kentucky's good.
Yeah,
they're real good.
They have done that a lot so far this season, winning their 49th SEC title. A 3-game margin over LSU and Auburn, finishing at 15-3 in the conference as Coburn pours it in once again to cut the deficit to just 1.
Interesting to see they're sitting Montgomery here. You'd think you'd want to leave one of your hottest scorers in down the stretch run here the first half. 2.5 to go.
Well, you also wonder at some point, you have to get Emmanuel quickly going. I don't think you're going to win if he doesn't do something more for you than he has already with just that 1-3.
Yeah, you want to get him, Hagens, Maxey, they all have to contribute.
Georgi Bashanishvili rips it down as he is finally into the game. Expected to see him a lot sooner, the sophomore out of Georgia, not the state, but the country.
I've been to the state. I haven't been to the former Soviet Republic.
Nor have I, nor do I have any intention, as Trent Frazier is on the board from deep. Illinois on top for the first time, I believe, in this game.
Feliz quietly with his 4th assist, not scoring much, but leaving an impact on the game.
No, just those 2 points so far for the senior from the Dominican Republic. Only 1.5 minutes to go as Hagens looks for an option. Finds it with Sestina off of the pump fake. Not this time. Rebound Coburn as he restarts the offense quickly. Feet up ahead. Oh, what an alley-oop to Dosunmu!
Look at watch Fraser again. Just it's like he dropped that down from the balcony, and Dosunmu goes right up and just floats it in like he's standing on a cloud.
Absolutely gorgeous, and it's got Illinois with its largest lead of the game. First adversity now the Wildcats have faced. Sestina, double team comes, calling for it once again on Coburn. Instead, it's into the corner. 3 up, in and out from Maxey. Chance to add to the advantage right now for the Illini with 51 seconds to go in the first.
I believe it's a seven straight points for Illinois.
That's his third personal.
Feliz will try to add to that at the free throw line as Sestina picks up his second. Third check that.
Actually, that's his third. That's a big problem now. That's a big problem now for Kentucky. Now he's going to have to sit the rest of the half. You know, that's the one Achilles heel for this team. You start getting guys in foul trouble, you can put them in a real tough spot.
Especially with the post players, too. This Illinois team is just starting to take over. What a run here at the end of the first for the Illini, and Kofi Coburn can add to his 14-point day already.
He hasn't missed a shot from the field today.
Absolutely incredible performance for the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. The lead is 8 now for the Illini. Kentucky needs a bucket here at the end of the first half in the worst way. Maxey off the cut at the elbow. Couple pump fakes. Now get it back out to Montgomery. He has been the weapon so far. No, but a big offensive rebound by the little man Higgins. And now Kentucky can hold for last shot.
He had a chance to go straight up with it. Let's see if this doesn't come back to bite him.
Inside 10 to go. Maxey on the turnaround. Cashes it in for 3.
Look at that. A little spin move. Just goes up so strongly.
Final seconds of the first. Heave at the end. Just off. And that is how the first 20 minutes comes to a close. Illinois with a huge spurt at the end of the first half, Mike. And they have the advantage going into the break.
Yeah, I felt like they were down 4 almost the entire half. And they go into intermission. Up 5. You couldn't ask more if you're Brad Underwood. 20 more minutes away from an Elite 8 berth. Miles to go before we sleep, though, and we know this Kentucky team, they're a lot better than 39% shooting, and they start heating up. This could turn quick.
Ayo Dosunmu, 19 points. Kofi Coburn, 15 so far. We'll be back with the second half right after this on the Reddit Virtual Tournament. Welcome back to Houston. Second half of Illinois and Kentucky in the Sweet 16 here at Reliant Stadium. So glad you're with us. Alex Perlman, Mike Abelson along. And this has been an excellent game so far. Illinois with a strong run to end the first half, taking a 5-point advantage over the Wildcats and the 8-time national champions.
I believe that was an 11-3 run to close the half for Illinois.
And you know, Mike, it seemed all along Kentucky would just get out to that small lead. Illinois would claw all the way back, and you figured if the Illini could hit a couple shots in a row, it might catapult them to get over the hump.
Yeah, but hey, Kentucky has a chance to cut it to a one-possession game. They still got that shot. The Reddit Premium Free Throw Cam in the second half is brought to you by the Marathon Bar. Marathon lasts a good long time.
Isn't that kind of what you're looking for when you...
I mean, I'm a Snickers guy, so I don't know.
So you would rather be satisfied than have it last a long time.
Yeah, I mean, almost any candy will satisfy me except a Milky Way. I'm just not a fan of Milky Way.
What do you have against Milky Way?
I'd rather have like the peanuts and the crunch of a Snickers because it feels like a Milky Way is half of a Snickers.
Yeah, fair enough. You're a texture guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like cookies and cream too. That's a good one. And of course Kit Kat, but everyone loves Kit Kat.
Strong move right there to the post by E.J. Montgomery, and Dosunmu picks up his first foul. Already the third team foul, though, on Illinois, and we've only not even played a minute in this second half, so that's going to be something to watch as we head down the stretch. Remember how good a free throw shooting team Kentucky is.
Now, considering that they were having such a tough time shooting from the field, sub 40%, if they can get to the line consistently, that can be the antidote. As you see the Wildcat in the background on the baseline, imploring his Wildcats on.
1 of 2 on the trip for Montgomery as Coburn has his 7th rebound, so a few more, and he has another double-double. Dosunmu walled off on the baseline, gets it right back to Frazier. Quick pass inside to Coburn for 2.
17 points with 18:55 to go in this game. Excuse me, in regulation. He's on pace for a 30-point night.
Has Coburn missed yet? I'm trying to think. I'm not sure.
I think he's missed twice from the stripe, but not from the field.
Wow. Maxey, give it right back to Quickly. They have to get him going. Just 3 first-half points. Not this time, but of course, look at the unsung hero, E.J. Montgomery, going back to work.
It is Fritz Lang's silent film masterpiece, one of the greatest films ever made. A cinematic epic from a bygone era brought back to life in high definition with the original score. Catch it all tonight on Impractical Jokers, only on True TV.
They really are expanding their repertoire here for the postseason, aren't they?
Everything is Impractical Jokers. Everything. We shall all be assimilated at some point. This tournament will end as an Impractical Jokers episode.
Gets his second. Yeah, I you know what? Wouldn't be surprised at the rate everything's going right now in the world. We can only.
It's a great show. I do love the guys in the show.
Dosunmu go to the free throw line as Juzang picks that one up. That is already his 3rd.
So I believe he's the second player on this Kentucky team with 3. Sestina has 3. It's not getting dangerous for Calipari, but he has to be thinking about that at this point with such a short bench.
Dosunmu is a 75.5% free throw shooter with the first, as you saw Juzang checking out.
Keon Brooks, very talented, also very young, coming in.
Brooks gets about 15 minutes per game, averaging 4.5 points, 3 boards. Dosunmu making them pay at the free throw line, though, and he's up to 21, which leads everyone. Lead back to 4 now for the Fighting Illini, 18:20 left in regulation. Double team, and free throws. Bishanishvili picking that one up, and I'm not sure Montgomery made the best decision that time, but still, it worked out for him, Mike.
Also, we're not even 2 minutes into the half. That was the 5th foul on Illinois. The ref's getting incredibly whistle happy here in the second half, and I guess just one more floor foul, and Kentucky's in the bonus.
Yeah, and Brad Underwood has to be absolutely livid just knowing the advantage that Kentucky had at the free throw line coming in.
Of course, Kentucky has already given away 2 points at the stripe here in the second half, which a bit of a consolation prize.
So Bishanishvili, after picking up the foul, does take down the rebound off the miss. And Coburn going back to work. Up top. Too much. Montgomery taking down his 10th rebound, giving him a double-double on the game.
Yeah, what a performance by EJ today so far.
Finally, Emmanuel Quickly back on the scoreboard. 1-3 in the first. He's already tallied that here in the second.
I'm sure Brad Underwood is just thrilled about that.
Yeah, maybe not the fouls. And probably, I would say, not with Quickly heating up either, but there are some things that he's got to like, right? Maybe?
Yeah, definitely the way that Io and Coburn are playing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Number 11.
Short jumper, yes, for Dosunmu. He's up to 23.
And look at that. Coburn with the dish. Io with the finish. The 2 stars for the Illini connecting right there.
And I know Illinois fans, Mike, have to be just praying, wishing, whatever they need to do spiritually, hoping to see Coburn and Dosunmu back on the floor together next year. I don't think the chances of that are very good, however.
You know, I don't think the chances are very good. However, right now, they just want to see their Illini win 4 straight games. And to do that, they have to hold off this Kentucky team that suddenly is feeling it.
Yeah, they certainly are, now down by just 1. I should say, I know that Coburn said that he is going to go to the NBA no matter what and going to not return, but hey, you never know at this point.
Yeah, you know, you never do know. I mean, there's so many variables with the draft in a normal year.
Gotta put it up.
Let's see what happens with it.
And it goes at the buzzer. Dosunmu is absolutely electric here in the Sweet 16.
Shooting 66%, 25 points. Feliz with his 5th dives. So that's 50 cents worth of assists for him. Coburn is doing it all on both ends of the court.
Turnaround sits in for Brooks.
I said earlier in the game they needed a 3rd scoring option. Maybe Illinois doesn't.
That's not going to make Brad Underwood happy either there as Frazier steps out on the sideline. He's a guy that can really put up big numbers. He had 15 points in the upset over Creighton in the 2nd round for Illinois, but he's also a guy that can sometimes try to shoot it too much and not hit enough from 3. When you've got Dosunmu there, along with Coburn, I think you just got to give him the basketball a little bit more.
Yeah, just, you know, at this point, what got you to the ball, and just keep going with that.
I mean, Dosunmu and Coburn basically averaged 30 points per game, and that's going to help even more to Illinois' cause, as Frazier has been doing it on the distribution end. His 7th dime and Bashanishvili at the free throw line.
Yeah, 3 points the old-fashioned way. And again, you know, we talk about all these people having trouble shooting, but guys like Feliz, guys like Frazier, Bashanishvili, even guys like Bosman's Verdonk, contributing small ways.
Brooks has really been a nice boost off the bench there as Coburn picks up his foul, just his 2nd. Something to keep an eye on, though, already the 6th on the team. Not even 4.5 minutes into the 2nd half.
Get up early and get down to Spalding's Bakery for the freshest donuts in the Bluegrass State. Since 1929, Spalding's has been brightening Lexington's mornings with fresh yeasted donuts. Stop in, grub up, and start your day right with Spalding's.
I know BBN is going to absolutely love that right there.
I don't know if you know this, Alex, but support your local. Support your local everything. Today, tomorrow, the next week, and forever.
Well said. Could not agree more. Quickly on the move. Now Higgins with a chance to tie or take the lead. Looking for help. It's in the hands of Maxey. This tremendous backcourt for the Wildcats. Maxey needs some help, though, now with just 10 to shoot. Inside it goes back to Montgomery. Kick it out Maxey with 8 on the shot clock. Around it goes to Higgins. And his long 2 is in.
Wow, what a play. That looked like everything was going so wrong for Kentucky. And now we start fresh, 57-57.
This is exactly the type of game we expected to see between these two ultra-talented teams. And what about this player? Kofi Coburn, ultra-talented freshman with 19.
And look at the finesse on that, too. The big man's got moves.
This has been a performance for the ages. Sweet move by Maxey, and he's up to 20.
See here, gets it and just immediately commits, gets Dosunmu out of position. Coburn can't slide over in time. It's a great finish. Look at that crowd. So much orange, so much blue, an awesome crowd here in the Space City.
Yeah, there is no doubt about it. Both teams really showing out. These fan bases have been exceptional in terms of their cheering and the way they have supported their teams all year long. No difference in the Sweet 16.
And I know that you can't stick around for the late game tonight, but that BYU-Kansas game is going to have a huge turnout, too.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. There's going to be a lot of blue and red in the stands, I would imagine. Tie game at 59, 6 minutes into the second. Montgomery decides to take it himself. Lead back to the Wildcats.
When was the last time Dosunmu took a shot? Well, here he goes.
Oh, there it is. Speak of the devil.
8th assist for Frazier, 28 for Io, 75% from the three. If Illinois can hold on, they'll be talking about this game in Champaign forever.
Absolutely incredible. And you mentioned it, one of these teams will have a date with the winner of Kansas and BYU. If I'm the Jayhawks and I'm able to get by the Cougars, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to playing this Illinois team, but there's a lot of time left as Maxey once again fills it up.
Yeah, and BYU, they come into this regional thinking they're the hottest shooting team, and now suddenly you're looking at this game like, oh God, if we could somehow get past the Jayhawks, we're going to have to deal with one of these two teams.
What a way to start off the Sweet 16. Bashanishvili with the feed and Frazier with the bucket. Tied again. Montgomery, right back to Hagans. Short this time on the triple.
You know, again, Bashanishvili, 4 rebounds. All these bench guys for Illinois, a lot of small things they're doing right.
And what about the play, though? I mean, we mentioned it a little bit as Frazier goes off the window, but of Bosman's Verdonk with his effort in the first half, pouring in those 4 points. That was huge down the stretch in terms of the Illini taking the lead.
You know, and Feliz and Frazier, between them, have, I think, 14 assists. I mean, Brad Underwood, I'm sure, is pulling his hair out, but he has to be happy with the fact that everyone who stepped on the floor has made a positive impact for his side.
Receding hairlines and balding, I think, are becoming a trend here in this tournament so far between us.
Yeah, we talked about Scott Drew during the Baylor game.
We sure did. Dosunmu actually missed one. Coburn blocked away. That was a great defensive possession that time there by Kentucky.
Someone has to move off ball and create some space for Ashton here.
He's going to take it himself. Out of rhythm 3. Offensive board. No on the putback by Brooks. And now back in the hands of the Illini. It's Feliz to take it across. Former JUCO All-American at Northwest Florida State. Great feed, but no finish by Bashanishvili.
11 rebounds now for Montgomery.
Pump fake drew his man in the air, and free throws now coming up. Reward the point guard. Hagan's going to the free throw line, and that is the third already right there for Illinois.
This YouTube spotlight is brought to you by the hottest new game console on the market, the Sega Dreamcast. It's thinking. And so right now we're going to profile Ninhly, Ninhly, a fun-loving channel from a guy in England. He makes explainer videos about any sport you can think of. Irish hurling, he's got it. American football, he's got it. Medieval MMA, which is MMA where they wear suits of armor and swords, they got it. So learn about all the fun sports. Ninhly on YouTube.
Can you use the swords in medieval MMA, or are they there just kind of like for show?
Oh no, you use the swords. They are blunt swords, and you use them as clubs.
Ah, they're blunt though. That's the key right there.
What, you expected them to be sharp? Come on, man.
I mean, I guess that would just be fighting, right? Medieval fighting. That wouldn't be MMA.
I mean, Dana White's renting an island for the UFC, so I'm sure we're not all that far away from actually doing that. But they wear suits of armor, they have shields, they have blunt-edged swords. It is honestly not even the craziest sport that he has explainer videos for.
What would you say is the craziest?
It is the Japanese war exercise game Botaoshi, which is 300 people versus 300 people. And the idea is that each team is defending a pole, and you need to climb up and take the pole down, but you need to get through the other 300 people to do it.
I cannot. When this game is over, I'm doing that immediately.
I will send you a link. I will personally send you a link.
3-ball, top of the key, Juzang. Big one right there for BBN.
Feels like it's been a long time since Kentucky has led, as Illinois seems to have been dictating the pace for the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Here's Kipper Nichols. This might be his last run, the redshirt senior from Cleveland. Wide open two, that time off the mark, and Montgomery has it for his 12th board of the game. Up ahead, another gorgeous alley-oop. This time it's Kentucky putting it through.
Can we get a replay from that? Looks like we're not going to get the replay, but Emmanuel quickly, he now has 8. Chance to go up 5 for the Wildcats.
And Higgins is into double figures in assists. What a game.
This is wild.
Illinois trying to get some bench players some run here as Coburn will go to the line. How do you stop? I mean, is there a way to stop Kofi Coburn?
I feel bad for Ashton Higgins. He's given up 9 inches in height. He's trying. He's just, he can't try hard enough no matter what he does.
7 foot, 290. And I am excited to see him in the NBA when that time comes. Pretty good right now in college. I'm excited to see him for the next.
Yeah, we got 940. I'm excited to see him bring this game home. See what the Illini can do.
Had the open 3 in the corner. Kentucky passed it up. And now it's back in the hands of Higgins. 3-ball good for Juzang. He's starting to heat up.
And real quietly, he has 8, but those 2 big threes, the lead back out to 5. Illinois needs a stop as early as it is. They're having trouble getting stops now.
Nichols going ISO. Now it's Coburn after the pump fake. And they needed that right off of the glass. Trent Frazier is starting to assert himself.
God, kissed that in like his prom date. Nice and easy. Drops it in. Look at that. He's celebrating. He's 1 point away from double figures. I mean, a very quiet, very good game for Trent Frazier. And Coburn with 4 assists. Just remarkable.
I don't know if a triple-double is in the offing, but it might be close. Still 8:50 to go here. Kentucky with the ball up 3. Long triple this time. No, Montgomery. Not this time either, but they're going to call a goaltend on Bosman's Verdonk, who's again trying to give a little post-presence to this Illinois team off of the bench.
Huge substitutions here for Illinois. But yeah, that looked a little too good to be true on that block, and it wasn't.
I'm not even sure he needed to go up for that goaltend. That ball looked like it was going to be short.
Yeah, that's the thing, just in the heat of the moment.
3 in the corner on not this time as quickly takes it down, and Kentucky back on the run up 5. Can Kentucky take advantage with DeSumo off the floor for the moment? Richards, double comes. Fancy footwork down low, earns him a trip.
So now that's the 9th foul on the team. So after this, double bonus the rest of the way for Kentucky. Chance for the Wildcats to make this a touchdown game, open up a 7-point lead. I mean, it just kind of happened, You almost didn't realize that Kentucky was taking over. I look at the scoreboard. It's like, oh, wow. Kentucky has a chance to get some space.
The Wildcats are just so steady. I think that's the biggest thing. They can weather the storm better than a lot of teams in the country because they know they do have those dependable scorers. And especially when E.J. Montgomery is playing as well as he is, you get a lot of good looks down in the paint.
Get that crowd again. Fire it up.
Everybody's been fired up for this one. It's been a tremendous Sweet 16 matchup. Another swat away this time.
That's Richards, only his first block of the game.
Yeah, Bosman's Verdonk. taken away there, and a 6-point advantage for UK. Quickly off of the pump fake. Frazier's in his grill. And now back around it goes. They'll swing it inside to Richards. Yes! And the foul!
You would think now Illinois has to bring the guys back in like Coburn. I think DeSumo's even off the floor. You have to bring in your big guns now. As Kentucky a chance to go up 9 with 7.5 to go.
Yeah, DeSumo has been off for a few minutes now, and you would kind of have to wonder why Brad Underwood would stick without his leading scorer. He's got 28 points already, and they really need a boost. Down by 9. Found the open man after the broken double team, but a terrible possession that time for Illinois.
Tried to draw the foul. Refs weren't biting. Maxey gets credit for the block. Now Kentucky can go up double figures.
Richards again!
Wow.
How quickly it
I
can
believe
happen.
this game was tied. This game was tied at 66.
Up ahead, Hagans. Past everyone. 2 more! Kentucky starting to blow out Illinois. Wow.
And there's the timeout, but no substitutions.
How are you possibly, unless DeSumo is injured, how is he still on the bench? I do not understand it.
They'll be talking about this in Champaign for decades.
This is going to have a lot of Illini fans questioning their coach, Brad Underwood. Feliz inside. I mean, I don't know how much more you can save him. 11-point deficit in your season is on the line. Hagans. Already double-digit dimes in this game. Gets the screen from Richards, looking for him off of the roll. Finds him now with 8 to shoot. Richards has all of a sudden turned it on at the end of the game. He might have the last 3 or 4 buckets for Kentucky.
Yeah, he very quickly has 10.
Lead is 13 once again. And Illinois still playing without DeSumo on the floor. Williams, trapped by the terrific defender Hagans. SEC defensive team both years at Kentucky. At a miss from deep. It's looking more and more like the Wildcats are heading into the Elite Eight. But still 5:23 left. Long 2. Just a bit short that time from Maxey. And now, Mike, where does Illinois go with DeSumo not in the game?
I have no idea. I mean, maybe go with Feliz. He's going to try it here.
Right into the hands of Montgomery for his 14th rebound. Now you can maybe even start to take some time off the clock here if you're Kentucky, and that's what Hagans will do as he resets the offense on the wing. Feed the hot man Richards, and he'll draw the foul. Bashanishvili picks up his 4th.
1 plus the penalty.
I mean, I would expect after this free throw when subs can come in, Underwood has to bring everyone back in.
I mean, you're playing right now without Coburn or DeSumo on the floor. And there they both come.
I think it's too little too late.
Not sure that that's going to be too unpopular an opinion in Champaign with the way things have gone recently now for Illinois.
Well, we'll just have to see how this one shakes out.
Still time, but is it enough? Deficit
Got to
is
find
15.
They got to find 15 points in less than 5 minutes. Oof.
DeSumo sitting on 28, Coburn on 22. There's DeSumo, right back to the wing. Three not this time. DeMonte Williams, big offensive board, but Montgomery puts it away. No, Richards, they give credit to the block that time for Kentucky. Maxey. That would have been a dagger, but Coburn takes it down. His 9th rebound, one away from a double-double. Nearing the 4-minute mark in Houston. Griffin finishes. These alley-oops have been unbelievable. And Alan Griffin adding to the highlight reel.
Gray up and under, couldn't draw the foul. The problem, though, now is you got to find 13 points in 4 minutes.
Griffin's first bucket, a guy that plays 18 minutes a game. He has barely been in there. That's a surprise because he's their best three-point shooter by far, almost 42% on the season. Maxey over to Quickly, long jumper. Uncontested rebound to Coburn. Back it goes to Feliz. They'll find Williams to restart the offense. Dosunmu, pump fake, got some space if he wants to put up the tray. Instead, it's Williams. Good ball movement for an easy deuce. All right, we're not done. An 11-point game with 3:17 left.
No, but Illinois has to find a way to consistently defend. It's been a bit of an issue in the second half.
And that, a big dagger potentially for the Wildcats. Quickly is starting to feel it.
I mean, Illinois is not good at shooting the three, and they need the three here in the worst way.
And that doesn't help in the least. Now for John Calipari's team, take some time off the clock or get blocked by Kofi Coburn. Either way. They've got to give Griffin a shot. Instead, it's Dosunmu. Not this time.
15 rebounds for Montgomery.
What a game. 18 points, 15 boards. Coming off a 12.9 rebound, 2 block performance against Iowa in the second round. I'll tell you though, Mike, if this is any indication of what we're going to see here in the Sweet 16, there's going to be pretty fun games going on.
That's going to be some great basketball. Of course, the thing with this game, this had the makings of an all-time classic, and I think it may have been sullied by an all-time great coaching blunder by Brad Underwood.
Dosunmu easy too. I'm 100% with you. The middle portion of this game, the end of the first half to the start of the second, and even into the second half was exceptional. I mean, that was back and forth. Illinois opens up a lead. Kentucky comes right back. Then we're tied. And then a huge run by Kentucky is all but decided this one as Dosunmu fires away and can't hit the three.
5 boards now for Maxey. 11-point game here now with 80 seconds left.
Well, you can pretty much put a bow on this one as Richards pours in the three, and that will do it. Free throws coming up, 92-79. And it looks like BBN is going to the Elite Eight.
Second game in a row, Kentucky has crested 90 points. I mean, just an excellent second half performance as they did against Iowa. But boy, howdy. What, the great question will be, what if you don't sit Coburn and Dosunmu for, I think, 4 minutes down the stretch?
It is something that Illinois fans in Champaign and across the nation are going to be wondering, I think, for an entire offseason as they watch Kentucky advance to the Elite Eight. This is exactly what the Wildcats did last time out against Iowa. They were down 48-36 at halftime, and they outscored the Hawkeyes 61-42 in that game, putting up 97 points in the process. Too much for Dosunmu, and that should just about do it as Montgomery's got 16, and there's the exclamation point. Throw it down. Tyrese Maxey.
Living the dream right there. He'll get his own custom poster wherever he winds up in the NBA. Can put it right on his apartment wall.
What a close to the second half by the Wildcats. Feliz no. Montgomery just adding to that extraordinary rebounding total now. One of those games, Mike, where the final score not even close to indicative of the way the game was actually played.
No, this was an absolutely thrilling basketball game. And it's just, again, goes back to that decision by Underwood.
Maxey. Richards. 4 in double figures for Kentucky. And that is going to be more than enough to push the Wildcats into the Elite Eight. Maxey, one last chance. No, not going to put it up, but it does not matter. A second half for the ages for the Wildcats, and they are into the Elite Eight with a huge W, Mike, over Illinois.
Excellent performance by Kentucky. They finished strong down the stretch, benefited by an incredibly questionable coaching decision by Underwood, but still the Cats had to put the ball in the bucket. They did, all up and down the lineup. What a performance by Kentucky. They're back in the quarterfinals yet again.
That will do it for us here in Houston. E.J. Montgomery, 20 points, 18 rebounds to lead Kentucky past Illinois. And the Wildcats will play the winner of Kansas and BYU in the Elite Eight. Thanks so much for joining us. Along with Mike Abelson, I'm Alex Perlman saying so long, and we'll see you next time here for the Reddit Virtual Tournament.